Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon for the month of March tarot oracle reading. And Scorpio, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Scorpio, we still all have a little bit of Scorpio in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Scorpio in, that's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to empower you with valuable information. This is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on back then in your life that could give you further clarity as to your situation now? We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Seven of Swords. All right, what a start. So the Seven of Swords energy represents kind of a shifty energy. This is my shift disturber card. This character is a walking contradiction. He has, seven swords in his hands, and he's planted these two here. And he is on his tiptoes, sneaking away. He's looking over his shoulder, and he is looking back to the past, basically, but he's moving forward without looking where he's going. He's on tiptoe, he's very sneaky, and he's in broad daylight. So if he's not a thief in the night, we know that, but is he a thief in broad daylight? That's more likely. So this can represent white-collar crime. And this energy, also, if you look how he's carrying these swords, how dangerous that is. Like, he has no regard for his own safety, so you can be assured he has no regard for anyone else's. He's just up to no good here. And so this is the energy. Also, there's seven swords here in total. And it came up in one of the readings about a month ago that this card is like, the words, the 7-year itch came up. And so that's a phenomena that occurs where many people, statistically, leave their marriages around the 7th or 8th year if they don't do it in the first year. And this is kind of that energy, like they call it the 7-year itch. But what was interesting is that it also can have to do with real estate. So purchasing a house and then being really happy living there, and then all of a sudden after 7 years, it's time to move. And it's also can be if you start a business or a job or anything important in your life. At the 7-year mark, it's like time to move on. That's the kind of energy. If you're doing any business with this person, you want to make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. Be very careful of the energy because it's shifty. All right, and then we have the underlying energy for your internal forces. And we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles represents multitasking, which is a great skill to have. Having said that, if there's an infinity symbol, so you could multitask to infinity. And this energy is talking about being so busy and multitasking so much that you end up having to do things over because you have more quantity in your work than you do have quality. So it's saying, when you're busy like that, it can gain momentum and you don't even really notice, like the ships are getting bigger, the waves are getting bigger. And right now, the energy doesn't support this so much, and I'll explain why. We had on February 17th, we moved into the year of the fiery horse energy for the Chinese New Year. And the Chinese New Year fiery horse energy is all about having a lot of heart and passion for what you're doing, setting really high goals and achieving them. In matters of love, it's about having a lot of passion and a lot of heartfelt energy. The danger of the fiery horse energy is setting your goals so high that there's no way you can achieve them even if you work 24/7 in the time that you've allotted yourself to do it. And so it runs into this energy then, and then you end up doing things like over, your work suffers basically. And the problem with that is like it can really burn you out, and you end up just not being able to cross the finish line because you're just too exhausted. So that with the fiery horse energy, that's till next February 2027. I think it's till the 6th. So you really want to pace yourself. And also the other energy is being impulsive, not, not acting out of emotion, like negative emotions, and in particular anger, and, just being too impulsive and making decisions without really looking into things. The energy just doesn't support it at all. And this card can also say, juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. Let's see now. We have this energy here of the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords could represent these two swords here. I think that might be the case. And so this is saying, this person has a closed mind. And a closed mind is not your friend, especially in this energy again. We have the new moon here. And the new moon coming up is the new moon is in Pisces. And the new moon in Pisces really supports, your commitment to personal goals, and also about being okay with some imperfections in yourself and others to a reasonable amount. And it's a really good time for visualizing and imagining different projects, getting the research done, putting things in place for when the energy is more supportive for moving forward with new goals. And the biggest asset you could have during this time is, and this is on the 18th, and I think we're on the 15th now, so it's coming up pretty quick. The biggest asset you could have is an open mind. And so this is representing a closed mind. This person can only see two ways of moving forward, my way or the highway, or this or that kind of energy. So this is someone who's caught in their mind, and they're not, the swords represent an energy of your mental intelligence, your discipline of your mind, your thoughts, basically. And then the thoughts are expressed through words and through, either written word or verbalized. And so this energy is talking about the swords are double-edged, which means that you need to use a combination of your logic as well as your intuition to come to creative solutions. So this person is just going back and forth in their head, and they're blindfolded. They can't see another way out. They're also tiring themselves out by doing this. Their feet are turned out, leaking energy from the bottom of the body. And you can see, like, even the way the arms are crossed over the heart, it's like kind of closing you're not open to any vulnerability in your heart desires either. So it's kind of like ruling totally with logic, but there's no logic here because there's more than just two solutions to any problem. And so this energy sometimes represents the energy of, because you have eyes you cannot see. That's a saying. And what it means is that, the spectrum of light that a human being can see is only about 5% of what's there. So you're really, when you think you're seeing everything, you're really not anyway. So you're, leaving yourself in a very vulnerable position if you don't use your intuition at all. And so this is talking about also, you notice the right hand, the right arm is holding the left arm back, and this is representing the logical mind holding back the intuition. So the best thing that when you're in this energy, the best thing that you can do is go inward and, use your intuition as well as your logic to be able to come to creative solutions. And then we have, we have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords energy is talking about a never-ending nightmare, something that just keeps repeating over and over again, and you can't find the solution. Again, it's being caught in a mental trap, basically, not being able to see your way out. But this person is, it's like they can't sleep and they've just woken up from a nightmare. But it also can represent having some enlightenment come to you through your dreams. And a lot of times people wake up between the hours of 2 and 4 in the morning because the Holy Spirit is trying to reach them, to give them some intuitive energy and some insight into their problem through their intuition. And quite often that can happen in dreams. And also the ancestors that have crossed over will often try to reach people that way. So the quilt here on the bed, it has cosmic symbols on it, and it's saying the universe does have you covered, but you have to get out of bed, you know, and you have to quit overthinking and being in this position where you're stuck. And so it's like all day and all night, just worrying, you know, a lot of anxiety coming in here. And then we have the energy of the Chariot. So this is saying that whatever you're worrying about here, and I feel like it, you know, it's a sword energy over here, and this juggling of options, and there could be juggling of morals here of some sort, whatever has happened here. This is saying the Chariot is coming in, and so like this, the Chariot represents being on your divine path or getting back on it. And there's no need for reins on the Chariot because it's driven by God's power, and it's God's plan coming. It's saying God's plan is coming in. Quite often, the black and white sphinxes here represent law and order coming in the third dimensional force by law enforcement, like the police. So there could be some sort of illegalities, especially with this card here, and maybe possibly juggling of morals. And maybe that's the energy in. If you're in that position, and this is, it's almost like, you know what the energy I'm getting is that the shift disturber planted these two swords here, and is maybe trying to set you up for something that they've done. That's the energy I'm picking up. We'll see. We have, yeah, because we have the High Priestess here, and again, this is saying you really want to look into your intuition and figure out, okay, what's really going on here. So the High Priestess is sitting between these two pillars, and one of them represents Jesus Christ, and the other one represents the devil, and she's in between trying to, you know, using her intuition to you know, that balance between good and evil, and being able to understand, okay, what's going on in this situation. So this may represent that you are now using your intuition, and or you receive some sort of intuitive insight from the Most High, and now you are in a position where you're getting back on your path. You now, and it's coming to you now, the intuition. So the High Priestess is the most highly intuitive, you know, 3 days before and 3 days after the new moon and the full moon, which is where we are right now. So maybe this reading is the perfect reading for you right this minute. And then we have the transition card coming in. So this is about the death card. A lot of times people get freaked out by it, but it's very rarely does it mean an actual physical death. It generally means death and rebirth, and it's about the transition, like an end of a cycle. And so this is also representing an end of a cycle. So this energy is talking about things are, you know, the energy is about to shift. This is saying that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And the Grim Reaper is a figure that a lot of cultures, it represents death, you know, and burial, but it also represents rebirth. And so this, and a lot of change coming in. So that's what this card is saying. There's going to be some significant change coming in. And it's talking about, you know, it's kind of the areas where you just never thought there would be any shift. And we're seeing that a lot right now on the planet with those files that came out. There's been all sorts of information coming out, and people that you wouldn't think would be held to, you know, at least testify about what, you know, like what's been going on. People at the very top. A lot of times you think, oh, well, they never have to follow the rules like everybody else. And we're starting to see some of that energy of some actual justice coming in for people. And that's what this card also represents. The Chariot represents the balance coming back in. So between, you know, the karma being brought in for people that have, you know, either way. A lot of people feel karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect for your actions. And sometimes people will think they're getting away with something because they've been getting away with it. Maybe they're, for generations. But then when justice comes in, every single thing that happened, boom, 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 gets, straightened out all at once. So it can be quite a reality check. And so this card transition, there's an older person here and they're like bartering, like, go away, we don't want the change. And then we have these two little children, and this one is trying to hand the Grim Reaper a flower. And this is representing a new bloom for life. And the king has been trampled. Now, this doesn't actually represent a king being trampled, but it represents the monarchy going through some major shifts. And we're seeing that right now on the planet for the first time in like 3 centuries or something. There's been someone arrested in the monarchy in England, and it's for serious, allegations. So it's talking about like, that kind of, it's like that kind of energy of systems not working. And we're seeing that, like, we have the Iran war, and we have, we have all these files coming out with all this information about these people. And it's just a lot. It's a lot happening on the planet right now, for sure. So it can be really a lot of beliefs that people had about the way things were really being run are really being challenged right now. And so a lot of people are feeling this transit anxiety over this transition energy. And this is also talking now that there's 8 pentacles here. And so the pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional world. This is talking about lifestyle, not just money, although money is a big part of it. The lifestyle, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. Having said that, this particular card is actually talking about money. Because it's the only card where the person is actually working on the coin and hammering out a coin, basically making money. And so this can represent starting a project and having 6, working on the second one and having 6 more to go, or having worked on 6 and working on the 7th and only having 1 to go. Now, in this energy here, with the shifty energy and the possible law and order and all the anxiety and the transition coming in here, this card can represent like actually making money, like money laundering, forgery, identity theft, white collar crimes to do with money. Think of all that. Like, there's so many of them, especially these days with artificial intelligence. It's really easy for people to get it's becoming more and more challenging to see scams for what they are. So let's just go through this energy. This is how you identify with yourself right now. So this is your self-image is of someone that, like, you're stuck in some sort of situation and you can't really see a way out. This is abundance and self-worth, like feeling really, really anxious about something that's happened. And I feel like it's representing these 2 swords here. And then we have communication from your early life. So this is talking about, that you were destined to be on a great path, and like you can get back on. And I feel like this card is a never-ending nightmare, and at the same time it's also talking about having some sort of intuitive information coming in through your dreams that is empowering you, because it looks like you're doing your best to get back on the right path here. And then we have your emotional foundation. So this is, like even a very young child knows the difference between good and bad and evil, what between right and wrong. So it's not like you don't that you don't know. So if you're in this energy, if it went to court, you can say, well, I didn't know. You on some level you must have known because of this. And this energy of leaving these 2 swords behind, like this is innovative thinking. Like if he sneaks away with these ones, then maybe the people in the village wake up and they say, hey, who stole my swords? Oh, well, there's 2, and they get in a big fight with someone else, and there's 2 here. And they're like, well, you did it. No, you must have done it. Who else? There's no one else. And they get in a big fight. You know, it's that kind of energy of setting other people up to take the blame for what he's been up to. And I feel like that's maybe what your concern is here. So let's keep going. Yeah, so the external forces are, instead of saying, you know, what if this happens, what if that happens, like the internal forces, the external forces say what the F happened. EF, external forces came in and had an effect on your life. So you can't really control the external forces, but you can control your reaction or your response to them. So this is talking about that this person is clearly like heavily laden with these wands. And so the wands in the tarot represent actions you've taken or other people have taken, and towards you basically. And this is talking about, you know, you plant the seeds, which are your thoughts, and then you act upon them. And then this is the harvest that you get. So, you know, some of these wands could be like an actual harvest, like you actually worked on some project and you have some good shift coming in from some. And then some could be like this energy, like I said, like, you know, if you purchase a house and then you don't want, or start a business and then you find out, oh, like it's not working out the way I thought it would, and maybe the partner's kind of shifty or something's gone on. This energy is talking about carrying other people's burdens, or other people causing burdens for you, and you're carrying them alone. And so this card is saying like he can't see it, but he's almost home with this harvest, and then he could sort through it. But there's some wands here that he could put down right now and just say, phone, you know, the shift disturber up and say, come and pick up your wands. I left them out in the field. You know, you were supposed to come and help with the harvest and you didn't. And so pick these up. They're yours. I'm not dealing with it. That kind of energy. And so this is talking about putting your burdens down. Like any burdens that you can put down, put them down, and then bring your harvest home. And you know, it's saying like he can't see it because he's too close to it, and that's, you know, you maybe have heard the saying, can't see the forest because of the trees, or the trees for the forest, sorry. So, or the forest for the, it is the forest for the trees, but it's about getting so caught up in the detail, like he's got his face right in them, that he can't see the big picture. And it's also about quitting just before you get home, just before you're about to succeed. So this is saying keep going and put any burdens down right now, like you can. Just put them down and phone the shift disturber up and tell him, come and pick up your burdens. I'm not dealing with them anymore. And then leave it and let them deal with it. And this is the Page of Cups. So in this energy right now, I'm really feeling like, you know, normally the pages work for the king and the queen, and they start working for the king and the queen when they're around 7 to 14 years of age. And they generally come from the families, you know, around that are higher society. And, you know, they learn the ropes kind of working for the palace. And their main job is to run information back and forth between people. So if they do a good job of it and they're accomplished and they stick with it, then when they're 21, if they can afford a horse, they might be considered for knighthood. And so, but the Page of Cups represents communication of some sort coming through. Of course, in the old days, the communication would come from a male, and you know, this is a young male, and they would be in person. But these days, this could represent a female or a male. All of the figures of characters in the tarot are actually, they're not gender specific. So this could be a male in his masculine energy as well as a female in her masculine energy. And so he's aware that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he's very focused on this fish. So quite often this card can represent that there is someone that he has his eye on and wants to ask out. And so the energy He's very focused on this fish. And so the communication coming in could be a phone call, an email. Let's see, a phone, what did I say? A phone call, an email. It could be a text message. It could be a letter in the post. It could be something on social media. We get messaged. It could be like going to an event and running into someone when you're there. That kind of energy. And also the news, whatever's happening at the top would be coming down to the bottom. So this energy, when I'm seeing this energy with this card here, I feel like because there's two swords here, it might be that you were in some sort of relationship, and romantic relationship, which the cups can represent as well. Like usually the cups do represent romantic relationships, but they can be relationships with other people, places, and things, that kind of energy. So this energy is talking about, it's in the position of your partners, commitments, and also marriage. So it could be that there was something fishy and stinky going on in your relationship, if to do with this, and it's left you in this position here. And so that I feel like whatever it was, like it seems pretty shifty. So let's keep going. And like if it's not a lover, it could be a partner in business, or it could be let's see, the energy of partner in business, or it could be just other people involved behind the scenes in your business that you don't know about, that you're not aware of. Let's just keep going here. Yeah, we have competition here, and this is like this adolescent energy, and this is talking about immature competition. This is my Mean Girls card, because think about narcissistic cheerleaders. Oh, excuse me. Huh. That's a way of clearing energy. My cat's really flying around here. Like, she doesn't like the energy. She'll sit on my lap and she'll purr. But there's some real kind of nasty energy behind this. It's shifty. So this is talking about, people. This is the only card in the tarot where there's adolescents fighting like this. The rest are more grown-up people, unless it's a page delivering a message or something. So this is talking about, immature competition. And you think about narcissistic cheerleaders, and they can see the other team won, but they don't want to admit it, so they have to win, and they'll do anything to win, anything. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will. So it's that kind of energy, and this is in transition. So I feel like you might be in competition with a bunch of people and may not even know it. You might have a lover that has a lot of other lovers at the same time, and maybe you weren't aware of it. It could also represent, people that are in your, that that you are doing business with, but they're not on the up and up with you. They're not telling you what they're really doing. So let's keep going here. Like, there's just a lot of this kind of weird energy around this. But this is in transition, and this is transition here. So I feel like this energy is shifting. Like, you're going to find out pretty quick what's going on. The best thing you can do is go inward right now. So the hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he's hanging upside down so he can get a different perspective on the situation. He wants to look at it from all angles. And when his aura becomes bright, that means that he has the information that he needs, and then he comes down the tree to implement it. And this is in your area of higher learning. So it's like you're looking for a solution, and it looks like you're working on it. That's all you can really do. And then we have a Knight of Cups coming in with, and this is like the knight in shining armor that we read about in the romance novels or see in the movies. And he's coming in with a cup of love. And this is like an offer. Sometimes this can be an apology. So this kind of energy, right now we have Mercury in retrograde. So Mercury in retrograde means that from the perspective of the Earth, it looks like Mercury, the planet Mercury, is traveling backwards. And Mercury is all about competition. So, or sorry, communication. But I've got like that competition there. So the communication coming in, and this is about a cup of love, but it can also be about something you love. Like if you've been working on a project or a business and it's something you really care about, this could be some information about that coming in as well. This energy is about your career and reputation. So I just feel that behind the scenes, there's been a lot of people causing you burdens. You might not even know some of these people as the energy I'm picking up. So it's causing you, it's either being caused, like you might have had a relationship with someone and he's working with other people to put you in this position because they want the pentacles. Like eight pentacles is nothing to sneeze at. It's a good amount of money. You know, it's there's only 10 pentacles in the tarot. So, and then we have there's some sort of energy here. The moon represents like hidden secrets, illusions, that kind of energy. And we also have the full moon, the new moon, and the sun. And so I feel like, you know, we already talked about the new moon coming up, but the full moon and the new moon that we had before this, there was eclipses on both of those. So on January the 17th, on the same day that the fiery year of the horse energy came in, we had Chinese New Year, and it switched from the year of the snake to the year of the fiery horse energy. That energy that came in was on the same day that we had a new moon, and that new moon was in an Aquarius. And the Aquarius energy was wanting us to, be working with the group energy. And I feel that someone is working with the group, but not, you may not know about it. It's kind of behind your back kind of energy, something you haven't been able to see. And I'm not, like, you may have been in competition with these people and not even know it. You might run into them, you might not even know them. I keep getting that. So the Aquarius moon was on the 17th, but there was an eclipse on that day. And then we had an eclipse on March 3rd, and that moon was in the Virgo. And the Virgo energy wants everybody to get things in order, get things cleaned up, get lined up, get ready to do the new. And so I just feel like if you want to know more about the full moon, new moon energy, I do have, on the same playlist this is on, I do have both eclipses. But eclipse season, it makes you, it makes you focus on one area of your life that is basically the weakest. And this energy, if you have a problem like that, you'll be super hyper focused on it, so you can come to some resolution, some sort of information coming in that can empower you. And if you're super focused on that, sometimes you miss the big picture. And so I feel like that's what this card is saying. There's some external forces that you're missing here. But this is going to be coming out. I feel like we just went through these two eclipses. And this is talking about do your best to stay on your path. There's some danger here because there's this domestic dog and there's this wolf. And I feel like, just the energy, it's just the energy coming in. Remember, I was saying the Virgo moon wants you to support it. The Virgo moon wants you to clean things up so that your domestic life supports your business life, and your business life supports your domestic life. And I feel like this energy here was disrupting both. Yeah, like it's shifty energy. Yeah, and then and there's money missing. And so you may have, that might be why maybe like, what happened here? Like, this is talking about someone working. And I feel like this is saying you're on your 7th pentacle and you only had one to go. And this is the 6th that you already have done here. And you're looking at it and you're going, I have one pentacle. I should have way more than one pentacle from doing all this work. Where did all the money go? Mr. Shift Disturber here. And like there's something going on behind your back that you're not aware of. This making money card. It's not like these people are working really hard behind your back. They're just working really hard to get your money though. That's what's coming in. Like that. This is not a small amount. Let me put it into context. If you were to say how much is each pentacle worth, and there's 10, let's say, it's $1 million. So this would be $800,000. Like, it's not a small amount of money. It's enough money for people to put some effort into remove it from your hands. And this is talking about when this eclipse season was a blessing for you because something happened, and you know there's something wrong here, but maybe you don't know the extent of it, and there could be illegalities going on here, and they're trying to set you up. I feel like that's the energy. I hate to say this, Scorpio, but it's something like that. And it could be people in your inner circle, because that, and there's like this juggling of morals, the shift disturber, you carrying burdens that don't belong to you, competition that's being really immature, something stinky going on in your love life, making money possibly illegally, like actually working on the coin, like, not like making money. And you're hard at work making real money, and they're laundering it basically for themselves though. And this energy could be trying to set you up. This is talking about transition coming in, which is really good. But this is talking about the law and order. The police might be involved in this. And you are stressed out totally because of this, trying to find a solution. And I feel like this person is this energy here that tried to give you a cup of love. That might have been someone that was your partner, because there's something fishy going on in your love life. And it's saying here, these are all external forces. So there's something. I'm going to clarify this. I'm just going to put this down. So if you're ready to leave this reading, I'm like, the readings have been really weird. Like the first 6 readings, every single one had the devil in it. Every single one. And I was watching another reader that I really respect a lot, and he was also saying there was a lot of devil energy. And that's because I feel like, because of everything happening in the big picture in the world, there's a lot of really like horrible energy happening right now. A lot of, information coming in that's very unpleasant. And so I feel it's having an effect on all of us. And it's also there's definitely spiritual warfare here. And so this is, if you were destined to do something to be on God's path, and they're trying to stop it at this point with this kind of energy, they're not fighting with you anymore. They're going up against God. So let's see what happens here. We're going to clarify this. If you're leaving the reading now, please do give it a like and comment if you received any value from it. It's not the most fun reading, but it's kind of interesting how it's played out. It's a very different reading. Give it a like and comment. It really does help me build my channel. And hey, don't blame the messenger. So we're going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. And this energy is, I've been working on this oracle since 2007. In 2020, I completed the 64th painting. And so now I'm working on getting it out there, like actually printing it out and getting it out there. And that's why I decided, okay, first I'm going to play with it a bit. That's what I'm doing with you here. Okay, so this is the energy that wants to come out here. Right here, this card right here. All right, so we have in the description box below, I'll put the the numbers on. These cards have numbers on them. I will put them in the order they appear. And also my website is talesfromthevector.com. That information will be down there. If you want to check out the paintings, then you can, and it might give you further clarity. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. I'm just going to pull these down so that you can see. And So here we have it. We have the magician wanted to come out. And so when there's like this dark energy around, this can be talking about some black magic instead of white magic happening. So someone that likes to do that kind of energy. So it's just really, I feel like there's spiritual warfare happening here is what's going on. And we have perception. So this is a major accomplice. This is this energy of this lover energy again, and of these two swords here and the two swords here, this kind of energy. It's talking about in your domestic life, in your business life, there's a lot of that energy here. And this is about perception. And I'm telling you, my cat normally would be sitting on my lap and purring, and she's just very uncomfortable. And she keeps on like, Colette, coming, she just keeps coming here. She doesn't like the energy. And I'm surprised she cares about me that much. And this is talking about perception, and that's why I'm bringing it up. Normally she just falls asleep on my lap and purrs away. So this is talking about someone who felt that the grass was greener on the other side. And now they found out it's fake, and they might be trying to come back in now because they're like, hey, they're in trouble. Like there's been trouble. I keep hearing the word trouble. That song, there's a song, Trouble. It's I'm trying to think who sings it, but that's the song I'm hearing in the back of my head. There's father figures, and so father figures is representing turning princes into frogs on this energy here. So this is, sometimes young women are looking for father figures that because they didn't have a good father figure, and young men are not, they didn't have a good father figure, and that's just known statistically that if you didn't have a good example of a father figure, it really affects the same sex, same as a mother for a daughter. So it's some sort of energy around that. And sometimes it can also be the kind of energy where you have a father that was like your hero and you just can't live up to that energy, or your father is always on your case, and so it made you nervous kind of energy. But there's something going on there. This could also be that you could be a father yourself and have this could be affecting children as well. We have surrender. So this is another major accomplice. It's talking about here the psychic cleanse. So this is that energy I was talking about, that sometimes your ancestors will try to come in. And when ancestors are trying to get our attention, sometimes we'll feel like a cold breeze, and that can be them. Lights will flicker. Sometimes they use like technology in that way. We have degradation. This is talking about that I'm just feeling like you're wanting to stay on your path, your destined path, and you're working to you're doing your best to do that. But this energy has really tarnished that. That's the word I'm picking up, tarnished. And so this is talking about, you might be even like starting to realize what's happening, that there's been something happening behind your back and it's like major, and you're like, how could I not see it? Well, because you were busy working. Clearly you were working your butt off, and you thought that these were people that were supporting you, and they actually weren't. So this is some degradation of your energy, but it's also talking about feeling ashamed because maybe there's people talking now or whatever. So this is about putting the burden down and letting them take what they did, and make sure that you separate yourself from that energy, so that when this karma comes in, that you don't get splattered with it. And that might be why it's gotten to the point it's at, is because you've been on your path, and so the universe is the energy is trying to be fair and even. And if these people get their karma and you're still hanging around them, then you're going to get hit really hard. And you could be like, if they've been trying to set you up, it's going to work. But if you're separate from them, then, you know, they're going to have to take responsibility for their own actions. We have Cancer energy coming in here. So this is the moon energy again, talking about, and it's sitting right on the High Priestess. When the horoscope signs come into my general collective readings, I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the energy. We all have a little bit of every sign in us, and we can learn from that energy, the state of being. The Cancer energy is the most feeling and a very intuitive energy. It's the youngest of the water signs, and water represents being able to feel. And so this energy is talking about the moon rules Cancer. Again, it's talking about this new moon, full moon energy, like the eclipse energy, and then also now moving into this new moon energy. And so it's Pisces energy, and so that's also a water sign. And it's just, I feel like there's something, I feel like I still am getting like there's something that happened around this time that you may been sensing, like that's when your intuition was really sharp, and now the energy is gained. So, you know, take a look, if you have time to look at that playlist, just see if you can pick up some more information about the astrological effects, because they're very, I feel like it's pertinent to this situation. We have attachment here. So attachment is the mother of all karmic spaces. And this energy is, you know, in your romance department, basically. So this is talking about, you know, being attached to someone, and when you get attached, then you don't see, like you can fall so easily into the rest of the karmic spaces. We have the Leo energy coming in. So this is about being a leader, you know, being in a position of leading. And when that Aquarius new moon on February 17th came in and that eclipse happened, the opposing energy was Leo. Leo energy is across from the Aquarius energy, and it was kind of a battle between the two to see, if, you know, are you going to be a leader and look after your own individual needs, or are you going to look after the group? And I feel like that's kind of like about this energy, like putting down anything that doesn't belong to you. We have Taurus coming in, and Taurus energy is talking about, this is actually my bull shift card as well, but it's ruled by Venus, and Venus is love. And Venus moved into the sign of Aries here on the 6th of March. And it's making people feel a lot less idealistic about love right now, and a lot more assertive. Like, this is what I want from my partner. And if I don't have that, I'm not into it. That's the kind of energy. And the Taurus energy is about the give and take in life, and, you know, having a fair exchange of energy. And I feel like, that you're carrying burdens from the energy that, you know, of someone that's supposed to be a supportive partner. We have the Empress energy coming in. So this is about being able to manifest at a very high level, like, and it's 4 queens rolled into one. And it's kind of talking, I don't know, like if there's some sort of energy here, this is partners, and this is like shifty energy. So this could be someone that, if you were with someone and they were behind your back, and there was some sort of juggling of morals here, that it might be someone who's in some sort of authority or important position that's allowing them to get away with something. So like someone that has some authority in the legal system, or some sort of information, or some sort of power over the situation. That might be who they were messing around with behind your back, kind of energy as part of this. But this is talking about being on a foolish journey. So when the fool starts out, they're at the 0 point. And if you're on a foolhardy journey, you're on your destined path. And if you're on a foolish journey, then, you know, you have expectations. And I feel like these people have expectations of being able to do this and get away with it. And now what's happening is the energy, like you look at what's going on in the world right now, like all of those people that were getting away with so much for so many years, and at the very top there. And look at, like, if the like the former president and the first lady of the United States of America can be having to sit and testify about what they did back when. It could happen to anyone. It's that kind of energy, like, and just like having someone from the royal family being arrested. Like, who would have thought, like, that could, a lot of people were saying, oh, because these people are elite people, they'll never be arrested, there'll never be justice. And now we're starting to see that coming in, and that's coming down in everybody's life right now. Shift is changing in that way. We have the hangman on the hangman. So this is saying you really need to look at this from all angles, basically. Look at it again and see, go inward, use your intuition. We're right now, like 3 days before the new moon and the full moon is when we really have, our intuition is super strong. So we have the Lovers on this card here, and I do feel like there's some sort of energy around a lover that you had, and this could be in the past or it could be present right now, whatever, that maybe was in some sort of tryst or something with this energy. And we have the moon on the moon. So it's saying it's just confirming what I'm saying, that the energy of the eclipses can really bring significant changes into our life. So this could be for the better for sure, but because it's like here you have like getting back on your path, but it's like not pretty energy here, what's going on. I don't know, like, I don't know what else to say about it. We have the energy of the Aquarius energy coming in as well. And so, yeah, this is really like you want to really observe what's going on and go inward and really look at it. Take some time to do that. I feel like, and the Aquarius was that first moon, like that. The moon on the 17th, on the same day that we had the fiery horse energy moving into that sign. We had Aquarius was opposing Leo energy. Aquarius wanting what's best for the group, and Leo wanting what was best for themselves, kind of energy. So yeah, there's something going on, but I feel like you're starting to get to it, and I feel like you just once you have the facts, it's going to make all the difference in the world for you. And I feel that information's coming in. The Mercury in retrograde ends on the 20th. And then, there's also on the 23rd, and this is the North Node joins Mercury along with Mars. And so this energy, the North Node is like your North Star. That's like your guiding light, what you're supposed to be, keeping you on your destined path. So that energy is going to be really hyper on the 23rd of March. That energy is going to be really highlighted. So I feel like the information is coming into you, and I feel that you already know a lot of, like, you're starting to figure out a lot of it. And I feel like once you have the information, that you'll be able to deal with this in a strong way, like just getting back. You obviously have put the work in and all of that, and so yeah, but you've got like it's this energy, and it's more than one person. So even these swords could represent 5 different people or something that were involved in this energy, or maybe even as many as 7, or it's 9. Like, I don't. It's more than just this one person involved. That's for sure. So this is a really different reading. I don't know if anyone liked this reading, but it may have brought some value to you. You might be like, oh, okay, I have a bit of better understanding of what's going on. I do hope so. And so consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. I would really be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another reading for you, Scorpio, on that will be for the end of the month. Bye for now.